just I don't, it's 9:42. So, and we're recording, so I will be able to share the recording. The significance of the lighthouse, as well as this lighthouse behind me, and I love what Annette's just written, that you're fond of lighthouses. That everybody has a relationship with lighthouses, but I think the imagery for me is around the light, and the fact that the lighthouse is a constant light of shedding safety and good passage for anybody on the troubled sea. Because we live in a world where we're on very troubled seas at the moment. That seems to be the case. And we were sharing this morning that it's okay to be not okay. As an actual sailor, which I am from many years ago, not recently, but I've had some experiences out to sea in small dinghies, like getting lost in the sea mist and turning the boat over in the water. You're looking for that landmark. You're looking for the lighthouse to know that you're going the right way. And one of the things that I feel is that if the lighthouse represents what the structure of our world, and was created by men, and that as the lighthouse shined over the last 2,000 years, we were allowed to come into the lighthouse as women, and that's been a struggle, and the imbalances are now paramount across the world, where people are vying for the light, and there's still a battle between men and women. And okay, thank you for that note, Annette. I'll go and check that. But for me, the goal for us in this meditation is to express ourselves in our eternal understanding of who we are as men and women, and of men and women with different attributes and traits and talents. And Adolfo has been working with us over the last, must be nearly 5 years. I met you 6 years ago, and your own journey has been extraordinary in terms of understanding yourself as a man and as a father of 2 boys, and also seeking things in the world as a man, as I do as a woman. And we've got men and women here, so this is good. So I'm going to literally just leave it at that there are archetypes that come into this as a journey, and Adolfo has the script in his heart. So he doesn't write it all down, but his script comes from his internal essence and energy. And I really admire that, because you have come on quite a journey with us, haven't you, Adolfo?
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful to those who have been on this journey some time with us as well. So thank you. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Adolfo, and I'm going to and meanwhile, I'll go and see if I can work out where everybody is. But
okay.
I think we'll carry on.
Awesome. Well, everyone here, thank you for joining, making the time this morning. Hopefully this experience will help you sit more closely with the relationship that you have with yourself, so that you can show up authentically and show others what that potentially feels like. So I'm going to ask you that you go with me along on a journey where we'll find hopefully some visuals and some physical cues as to getting in touch with that person. So let's begin by closing our eyes and taking a deep breath, relaxing, feeling yourself in your chair. The deepest breath you've taken all day, allowing yourself to actually bring in oxygen, holding it at the top a little bit, reminding yourself that your lungs and your blood stream do not consume oxygen immediately once it goes in. It's a process. You can hold it at the top. You can enjoy your lungs being full. You can also start exhaling slowly. The slow exhale is an important one to control yourself, realizing that there's also not an enormous amount of CO2 that's bubbling inside your body that needs to go out. It's all a process, and slowing that down will help you get closer in connection to yourself. So I'm going to share some music for you. As you sit, hello, Jose, if you can just join us, sit up straight in your chair, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and start imagining. By imagining, I give you the instruction to give yourself permission to look at the images, the sounds, the smells that come into your consciousness when your eyes are closed. When any input from the outside is no longer affecting what you see. Allow yourself to see the fine line differentiating the energy that comes from within you to the external world, and all of the energy from the external world connecting to you. Give yourself the permission in this meditation to create a slight bubble. Imagine 6 feet in every direction around you, the energy radiating from your heartbeat, radiating from your thoughts, from the vibrations in your speech, the air moving in and out of your lungs, creating turbulence around you. Imagine a cocoon of energy, slowly and surely coming from the center of your heart, involving you. The deeper you breathe, the more focused you are on your presence. Start looking at the bottom of your feet connected to whatever ground you're currently on. Imagine from the bottom of your feet, roots like a tree, growing at unfathomable speeds to the core of the earth, going deep through stone and ground, aquifers, molten lava, all the way to the center, churning, hot and dense core of our planet. See yourself as an indisputable fact in the universe, existing, breathing, observing, affecting everything around you. The deeper your breaths go, the more you can feel your connection. Imagine yourself growing energetically, as if each one of your cells had the space to unravel, to see the 99.9999% of empty space that's between every atom that constitutes your body. For a second, start imagining the trillions of cells inside your body, each one with a copy of your own genetic code. Each copy of your genetic code 6 feet in length, if it were to be unraveled from within yourself. Trillions of cells, trillions upon trillions of feet of proteins, describing to the universe and to you your unique essence. As you see this, imagine yourself transported energetically to a beach. You look around and there's several other cocoons, several other human beings having the same experience as you, transported through consciousness to a beautiful blue crystalline beach. A wooden boat awaiting at the edge, and far away in the sand, distinguishable treasure trove. Start looking at the curiosity as if you were a child. What is that shining in the darkness? What is that shining far? The more curious you get, you look around at the curiosity in your fellow beings. And we all start walking in the direction of that point. Start seeing within you the differences and the similarities amongst you and the others that are on this path. You start realizing slight differences in color, slight differences in tone. Without speaking, you can hear your own voice being different, yet trying to communicate a core truth that you know exists in you and you assume exists in others. The closer you get to this beach, you start seeing that the number of treasure chests on the sand are equal to the number of people that are standing here. You look around and there's no need to go to the shiniest one. There's no need to compete. There is a feeling inside you that you know which one is yours. You see each person curiously walking up to a different treasure chest. And with childish curiosity and excitement, you look at yours. You walk towards it. The closer you get, the brighter it shines. You feel permission to open it. Inside is a bright, shiny set of artifacts. A cloak, a shield, a sword, a suit of armor. Each one of those pieces methodically and meticulously made to fit you. You start putting on the gowns inside, realizing that it's an invitation to see with your own eyes what your authentic self looks like in its most majestic power. You look around you and you see some of the women are actually wearing armor, as if a Valkyrie. Some of the women are wearing cloaks, magical clothes that look like they could intertwine their words and their hopes right into your heart. You look around at the men, you also see suits of armor, poised, powerful. You also see cloaks, magical in nature, with wisdom depth that is imperceived. You see unique beings communicating their unique truth. You find a reason to smile at the rest of the men and women that are around you. You feel powerful in your essence. You feel unique. And you feel how unique the circle of people are. You know this is a small group, and yet the invitation to get on this boat is open. The power of the suit that you wear is not diminished. There could be thousands of people on this beach or only two, and you would shine just as bright. No need to shine for the others, but for yourself to recognize the deepest truths in you, how to communicate them, and how to make the best effective changes in you and the world to be authentic. You see others looking at the entrance to this boat, looking at the small bridge between the port, and as if an invitation had been uttered by space, we all hop in. We still don't know the destination, but just like the previous invitation, you feel curiosity. You feel an invitation to this journey to a place where authenticity can be shared. As if by magic, we're all on this boat. It starts to move, starts leaving the beach where you found yourself, transcending your imagination as to how it should move. It goes through waves. It goes through rough patches of ocean. And in almost an unfathomably fast speed, as if you had crossed space and time itself, you see another beach. You're arriving. The journey could have been 1,000 years or a microsecond. It's indistinguishable to you. All you know is you are now there. You feel the need to get off the boat and sit on the sand of this new beach that you see. There's something different about the island in which you've landed. There's nothing around you but others wearing the same shiny, powerful outfits, emanating light. Each one individually unique, different symbols, different colors, different cloth, different steel, different gold and silver. And yet, each one majestically tied to the person that's wearing it. Imagine yourself engaging in conversation. What would it look like? For everybody to see each other's authentic dreams, authentic contributions to a future where community and society are full of knowledge of self, of space for others to acknowledge that, of space for growth, space for creativity, for curiosity. Imagine yourself being able to read the cloth in another being in front of you, as if being authentic removed a layer, a barrier between your communication, your understanding of the other. Imagine how beautiful it would be to communicate and to be understood without having to explain, without having to apologize for being different, knowing that being different is what makes us whole. The more you see these interactions, the more you start realizing that the light of these beings powers up the lighthouse in this island that you've landed. The more people, men and women, uniquely identifying themselves to the world show up, the more light that's fed to the base of this lighthouse, inviting others to go deep within themselves and join this journey, to go away from the beach of confusion, of theater, of compromise, and go towards the beach of serenity, of collaboration, creative interaction, creative disagreements, solution finding. Imagine this light getting brighter and brighter, inviting others who might be afraid to look within, to trust you, to do the work necessary so that we can communicate with each other from an authentic place, from a place that represents our true, most powerful self, our ability to create both inanimate objects and the true essence of life in our children. Take a deeper breath. With every breath you take, imagine light from this lighthouse feeding your suit, your armor, your cloak, your wings, whatever it is you look like in the authentic island. Imagine it growing brighter, interconnected with every one of your cells, as if you could communicate your genuine truth to the world, and more importantly, understand it yourself. You see in your mind's eye the need to share with others the poise you hold right now. You look around at your other shipmates. They're in the same state. They're empowered. They're poised. Their third eye glowing with creativity, with problems to solve, and zero impatience. You all climb back into the boat. You see its anchor rising, and with the same unfathomable speed, we vanish from that beach. Slowly again going through rough seas, going back through the wall of confusion, going back to a world where not everything is clear, where authenticity is a treasure map. You look at yourself and you smile internally for having found your treasure in this lifetime. We get to the beach. You on board this boat. You take with you a spark behind your eyes that can share with others something that you cannot speak with your head. No words can be found to translate to others the invitation to find authenticity. But you feel it. You feel it in your gaze. You feel it in your heartbeat. The way you smile changes. You have the tools to invite others to a harmonious future. You have the tools to find yourself and to allow others to do the same. As we sit on the sand and we take a deep breath yet again, you You start feeling yourself in the room that you are now, your connection again to the core of the earth, and slowly come back to us with a new full understanding of your authentic self and its ability to exist and communicate with others. When you are ready, open your eyes.
Adolfo, that was absolutely beautiful. Excellent, because one of the things I felt was that, I mean, your voice is fantastic, but knowing the previous meditations and the words, this was significantly different. I love the interplay between the differences we are and this unity and the treasure trove and the clothes and everything. And my vision is that as we come together in this deeper consciousness and energy, we can rebuild the lighthouse, the structure of the world, with equal contributions, but different contributions. And that's really what we're attempting to do here. And the idea of taking this into some serious leadership engagements where, you know, leaders have been in battle with each other maybe, and they haven't actually gained that understanding of the value of people around them. And this is what we want to do in Corporate Heart. We want to take this as part of a whole series of creating healthy, high performance, happy, engaged companies. So it could be to masses, it could be to leaders, it could be to critical decision makers. And it's a starting process of, if you like, conversations without words. And I know hopefully that would judgment, without anger, without KPIs coming in. That really works because people step into that space and they recognize that they don't have to bring their ego with them. They can be in that space. So if we add in the meditation, what we perceive is that will expand it exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like what Christine is talking about regards, nonprofits. I'm even imagining a few of these universities, right? Like I remember my college years, and I mean, I'm 44 now, but when I was in college and still sort of planning out what experience I needed to get to go out into the world as an adult, right? I knew nothing, but I had this guideline of what I kind of wanted to be able to do. And I see younger generations that are going into the workplace being the place where a seed can be placed as to what authentic collaboration means in the world. Because you start getting into this whole competition aspect of adult life, and that's where we start just filtering people out and seeing everything in black and white rather than, the colorful creative collaboration we thought we were going to get to. And I believe if we continue to let society think that young people are naive because they don't know why things can't be done, then we kind of prevent progress from happening, right? Because it's like, rather than leaving this ability for people to try something new to collaborate with each other, the older generations, i.e., we have more to fail if we don't teach the younger generations that they should stand or learn to communicate authentically. So, to Christine's point, if we start with just teaching them to meditate, just teaching them that, first of all, we go through the first meditation we ever did was like, I actually brought you to your chakras and we visualized colors and stuff like that. And so get them to feel their body and realize that they're not just their thoughts, and to get to a place where you can drop in to actually filtering those out and watching thoughts go past you rather than every thought I have is mine and I must defend it to the core. Like, you need to get to a place where thoughts go right in and out, and it's just one chakra. It's just a very energetic one. And so you could start looking at others as also a mind full of ideas that has a problem to solve, which is, which of these ideas do I actually slow down enough to put into words, and why does that matter? Right? We choose to communicate. So sometimes we're on automatic, especially, the very square males, or the very square females for that matter, right? That have a particular belief that they need to communicate rather than listen and understand and engage and debate. So I think if we start with that, with getting them to a place where they can see themselves as a conglomerate of energy, only a part of which is your thoughts, right?
Yes.
And how that being present in the world can affect others and their thoughts and their truth, and what collaboration means. We could get to this last one with men and women actually, okay, now I know how to drop into my creativity and my consciousness. Now I know what authenticity means. I can feel part of this conversation. I like that, Christine, a lot, where you're not just assuming that they can drop in,
Yeah,
My
and
friend,
as you're, oh, okay, as
yeah,
you were talking, I started to visualize, several people around a boardroom, different ages, all coming with, probably their own agenda. And it's like, okay, we're going to make soup here. And every one is a very valuable, important ingredient to the outcome of the soup. And just let it be the greatest soup it could be, with something that might be hot and spicy and something that might be more, I don't know, soft and savory. And boom, what could you get if you all just said, here's me, and everybody says, I accept you. I accept your ingredient. Let's see what we get. I mean, that's, as you were talking, that's what I'm like. That's what I see. Yeah.
I love that, the soup. We often talk about the orchestra, but the soup and the ingredients, I think that's lovely because it's very yummy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And you can actually go to the point of, imagine that we only make soup with the one ingredient. Nah.
Right.
Right?
How
Like
awful would that be? Chicken
how
broth is
awful.
just horrible on its own, right?
The,
Right.
the nice analogy with an orchestra is, if you're in the orchestra, you often don't hear anyone else. So the whole orchestration has to happen. And I think that's the difficulty we're encountering, is everybody wants to be the orchestra and the orchestrator, and no one wants to be part of that process, or being part of the orchestra and being orchestrated. And I think this is what I keep seeing. I see all the conflicts that are going on, and it's all about my agenda. It's all about your agenda. It's not about where do we go from here? How do we make music together that resonates with everybody, even though I don't hear all of it? Because if I'm playing the violin, I don't hear the bass, and I only hear the cymbals occasionally when it comes through above when I'm paused. So it's very interesting thinking
Thank
about
you.
it.
Corporate heart has always been about the heart of business. So my favorite example is Richard Branson. I always quote my friend in England, but he says, if you don't understand people, you shouldn't be in business. And that's really my mantra for corporate heart, is that anything that we do is about addressing the individuals in the room, and especially at different generations as well. I think that's really important. And I love what you mentioned, Adolfo, about the younger generations also mixing with. I loved it when you said the older generations and commented to yourself the very older generations. But as you're the same age as my son, I can quote that. But I think it's in the vision I have. And for those of you who don't know, I had this extraordinary experience on Monday where I nearly killed myself by swallowing something and getting it stuck in my windpipe. And it really made me pull up short. And literally was saved by my husband, who was standing behind me at the time. But it really made me bring my attention to what's real in the world, and what's real is our humanity, our humanness, the breath of life, literally. And I just loved the meditation, Adolfo, because it so addressed the curiosity of the treasure trove. That was a bit I really loved. It's like I hope all of you did. I wanted to get in and put all these garments on and go racing down the beach and then onto the boat and then getting to the island. And really the next stage is when we do this with real live groups, which is my intention, it's that we really see people engaging. So they start creating their own meditations. And we discover the voices in the audience that are the new Adolfos. And that for me is really important, especially amongst young boys. You've got 2 boys, Adolfo, you know what that is about, and the young girls who are still threatened in their own environments. So it is a very important place for me, this crossroads. And I can't say enough about Adolfo, that you absolutely cracked it today. I want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you, Jose, for coming. Let's get together. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Clara. Thank you, Jennifer. And I really appreciate you all. And we will come back to you with some ideas of the next steps. Thank you very, very much.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. It was a beautiful morning, beautiful faces to see, always. So thank you for your smiles and trust.
Thank you. I almost
very much.
I'm leaving with such a magical memory that I want to give myself like a daily little homework assignment to journal about this experience.